top 15 matchup. Number 15, Ole Miss, going at Tuscaloosa to play Alabama, who, I mean, is 2-1, obviously lost to Texas 2 weeks ago. Bama's still 6.5-point favorites, almost a touchdown favorite. Obviously, Bryant-Denning Stadium is going to be it's going to be packed. It's going to be high energy. But yeah, what do we think of this game? Actually, I want to say my cousin goes to Alabama, and I text him. I was like, hey, man. Yeah, Roll Tide. And I text him. I asked him, I was like, hey, man, like, he's a freshman this year. I was like, dude, you're probably having a blast, man. Like, how are the football games, stuff like that? And I was like, how's the Texas game? And he was like, man, like, it was fun, but when we lost, it was like there was supposed to be after parties, stuff like that. And he's like, everyone just went home and went to bed because they were just depressed. Yeah. I was like, man, that sucks. So I was like, hoping for a Bama win this weekend, so little Cuzzo can go party it up, after.
No, yeah, and I think this is going to be a very defining win for Nick Saban, or defining game. Oh yeah, should I say? Because you don't doubt Nick Saban. You just don't do it. This is the first year I'm starting to doubt Nick Saban a little bit. The team doesn't look great. Obviously made the decision to bench Jalen Milroe after the Texas game. That decision, backfired. Jalen Milroe is going to start this week. But we're talking about a series that Alabama has really dominated. 54-10.
54-10.
54 wins to 10 Ole Miss wins. So this is a team that Alabama has owned, which there's been a lot of teams like that. Let's be honest. But even before the Nick Saban era, like, this is a team that Alabama has owned. And this is a huge game for Alabama because, we talked about it earlier in some of our recaps. This is a team that needs a win if they have playoff aspirations.
Yeah.
They got to win out. They got to win the conference. They cannot slip up anywhere else or they're done.
Yeah.
So
got to play perfect, backs against the wall.
Backs against the wall, got to play perfect ball. And I'm interested to see really what Alabama looks like this weekend.
Yeah. And this is a team who's been receiving a lot of criticism. Mm-hmm. And, the case said they're like, hey, is the dynasty over? Yep. Are they kind of passing the torch over to Georgia? And, is Georgia going to be that team that kind of, is known for winning every year? And so I think that, Bama, they need a bounce back win because it's like they need to make the playoff this year. They need to be in the SEC championship competing for the SEC trophy. And, they need to be competing for the national championship to, gain that respect again, because it's crazy how these days, people would just, it's like Bama hasn't, been in the nat, hasn't won the natty in a while, and they're already, turning their back on them and saying that the dynasty's over. Yeah. So it's like they kind of need this win to be able to gain back that respect, I think.
Yeah. And for Ole Miss, what a great way to really catapult your way into some serious SEC conversations.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you go into Bryant-Denny, last time they will have a win in this series was actually in Tuscaloosa.
It was
2015 in Tuscaloosa. They went in there and got the win over Alabama. So if Jackson Dart and those boys and Lane Kiffin can go into Alabama, and remember our stat from a couple weeks ago, 3 previous assistant coaches have beaten Coach Saban.
This could be 4.
Lane Kiffin's trying to be number 4.
Could be 4. Yeah, we saw the other week with Sark.
Sark got it done.
Sark got it done. Will Lane Kiffin get it done this weekend? And I think it's all really going to come down to, obviously Ole Miss has the upper hand in the quarterback position.
Yeah.
This is very rare for us to see Alabama, not have someone who's, a Heisman finalist even at the quarterback position. So we're starting to see, them struggle without that key position filled.
Yeah. And Ole Miss runs the ball really, really well too, which is, I think it's something that can cause Alabama problems. If Ole Miss goes in and controls the clock and
Quinshawn
Judkins. And, they let Jackson Dart and make the plays he needs to make. I think there's a very real scenario where Ole Miss does go in and get the job.
Yeah, I'm wondering, because the line switch, it was 7, now it's down to 6.5. I wonder what's causing, that slight change, but, things are starting to kind of lean towards Ole Miss a little bit.
I think bettors are liking the upset.
Yeah,
I guess so. There's some group bettors out there that think Ole Miss can get it done.
Mm-hmm. So who do you think is going to get it done?
This is a game that I've gone back and forth with all week. I think Ole Miss is a team that if they are to pull the upset, I think it's the perfect time to do it.
Absolutely.
You know, there's so much uncertainty around Alabama program. You know, they don't even know who they want at QB.
Yeah.
You know, Jalen Milroe starts against Texas, gets benched. The next week, they squeak by USF, which is, I think that's not being talked about enough.
Yeah.
You know, that is a very embarrassing win for a team like Alabama. But I do think Alabama's going to win. I think they're going to feel the pressure a little bit. You know, I think those fans there's going to be a tense feeling in Bryant-Denny. You know, fans are coming in knowing what they got to do. They got to get the win. Got to start SEC playoff right. And I think Jalen Milroe, I think he's fired up.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he felt he deserved to be benched going into that USF game. So I think you're going to see one of his best performances. It's going to be one of those magic day games at Bryant-Denny.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, you know, back and forth. Whoever has ball last gets it done. I think Alabama wins slightly though.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's going to be 1:30, same time as the Utah game and the Colorado game. So you're going to have the 3 screens up, you know, watching all the games, streaming one on your phone, you know, figure it out. But I agree. I think Bama's going to get it done. You know, this team's hungry. They're eager to get that bounce back win. And I see them getting it done against Ole Miss. But I do agree. I think they squeak by. I think it'll be a close one.
Yeah.
Maybe a 1-score game.